Hello everyone, it's Puddy Geeks, the cosplay hero to replace Tangle Cape, and I'm back with an interesting video today. I thought as this is the first video of the new year, it might be fun to go back and review some of my favourite experiences from my time as your cosplay hero. Obviously there's a lot of things I could include, and I've mostly limited it to things that I have kind of relevant clips for, things that I have clips that I can use to give you a bit more insight about, and I could talk all day about different experiences. But I've managed to bring it down to 5 different categories, and we're going to talk about that now. It was really hard to pick some things for this. Obviously, since joining and placing Tango Cape as the cosplay hero, it's made me go outside of my comfort zone and really think about the kind of content I want to produce for you guys and how I'm going to do that, and doing things that are new for me. So along that thread of thought, the first thing that I did that was new for Replace Tango Cape was hosting meets at conventions. It's something I'd thought about in the past, but mostly the meets that I've been to had been around huge franchises such as Dragon Age or Mass Effect that were run by multiple people that had been running meets for several years and were very well executed. They knew everything they were doing, and they were an experienced team that mostly ran from a Facebook group. This made it feel a little bit overwhelming for me, but eventually, once I started my position, I decided to actually host a meet of my own around something that I knew there weren't really any meets or groups around it already. This time I went for the Anime Free. I felt like a sports kind of girly, I guess, anime would be a easier crowd and something a bit more relaxed. As you'll know if you watched my vlogs from around that time, it tended to be kind of a hit and miss thing over the weekend, but by the last day I'd gained a bit more experience and I had a really good time hosting that meet. We took some amazing photographs, I got to meet some other fans of the same anime as me, and it just turned out to be a really great experience. So in future I'd like to build on that a bit more, and I'm really glad that I got the chance to try that out and see how it felt for me. My next new experience that I did for Replace Tango Cape was actually interviewing celebrities. Now I did speak to more people than I have videos of, but unfortunately we had technical problems, and we also had times where we couldn't film because, you know, I got as far as talking to the handler and then talking to the person themselves and was then turned away. As we all know, press work can be difficult, especially when it comes to celebrity guests and managing their schedules. However, I did manage to get 2 successful interviews with stars from Game of Thrones, both of which we'll be seeing clips of now. It was a really interesting experience for me as someone who is quite anxious around those kind of people. I'd never really done any form of interviewing before, and it really did feel like it was a sink or swim situation. I had to overcome a lot of fears. Generally, when you get me around any kind of celebrity, I completely forget how to speak, or I say something really awkward, and I just get very out of character for myself. But this time, where I knew it was for a larger audience and something that I really wanted to be good at, I pushed myself out of my comfort zone, and I'm really proud of the result of that experience. Admittedly, it's not something that's my favourite thing to do, and it's definitely not something I would choose to go and do. But if it was suggested by the Replace Tango Cape team, or they wanted me to do it, I'd definitely be up to giving it another try. And I hope with all the experience I've gained since that very first con, working as part of this team, that I'd be able to run that a little bit better and have some more confidence in myself. But I guess one day we'll see. My next proudest new experience through Replace Tango Cape has been going on stage. Now, I don't know how much of this I would attribute to my cosplay position. I did originally start at Reading Comic Con, which was a very small convention, and that was more to do with my friend who wanted to enter, encouragement from Carl, encouragement from the judges, and encouragement from new friends who all wanted me to give it a go and just see how I felt. As someone who's struggled long term with severe stage fright, this always felt like something I wasn't going to be able to do, and I'd always avoided even watching competitions because I just felt so nervous even watching other people get up on stage, but I didn't even really know how it all ran. I kind of just stumbled through in the dark, picking up information as I went, and in doing that, each time it got a little bit more challenging. Each time I wanted to do a little bit more and try something a little bit bigger and do something new. And eventually that grew to this MCM, or last MCM May 2018, where I actually went up on the MCM stage, which was much, much bigger in scale than anything I've previously done. I felt like I was going to die, but I managed it, and I'm really, really proud of myself, and it's enabled me to carry on setting some bigger goals, setting my sights on some other competitions, and really refocus my cosplay passion. Also, it means I can make some great competition-based content for you guys and share some tips and information about starting in competitions, which hopefully will be helpful for at least some of you. For the time being, if my competition experiences and any tips I might be able to share are of interest for you, I'll leave a blog post in the description below where I discussed all of my cosplay competition experiences thus far and what they were like for me. My next favourite part about my time with the Place Tango Cape has been my vlogs. I know I was doing the vlogs very briefly before I started here, but I really feel like they've come into their own in my time at Place Tango Cape. Unfortunately, from the last con, as you'll know, I didn't actually do a vlog because it all got a little bit too much. Again, there's a post linked down below with a bit more information about how last con didn't quite go well and how it will be changing for 2019. I have loved creating the vlogs. It's so great for me to have those videos to look back on all of my favourite con times with my friends and the great experiences I've had. But the best part for me is being able to share it all with you guys, to be able to give you a real insight into what my con experiences look like, why I do it, how much fun cosplay can be, and all the variety and the things you can do. Putting my vlogs out on this channel has made me a lot more reflective on how I want them to look, what I want to include, and again it has pushed me outside of my comfort zone. Originally it was just a few clips here and there of me and my friends talking, and on the whole that is how it is now, between trying to manage all of my other commitments on the content that I want to release that weekend. But I've also managed to include some photo shoots, some tips here and there, competitions, time with friends. There's been all sorts of new things that I wouldn't have done, hosting meets, attending meets, everything. There's so many things that I've tried new to include in my vlogs to make them more interesting, because I know I'm broadcasting them to a different audience than just my own channel. And I just want to say thank you for everyone that's taken the time to watch them and leave me some nice feedback, and that we'll be taking the vlogs up to another level next year. I'm definitely thinking much more about what I want to do with them, how I'm going to do it, and investing more time into them. Again, there'll be another link down below to a blog post where I'm discussing the changes I want to put into place in 2019 and what you can expect from my Cosplay Hero position in future. And last of all, my favourite thing that I've done through Place Tango Cape is interviewing creators. As great as it is to interview celebrities, you can see the same questions asked to celebrities over and over again in any media outlet. And although it's great to have that from our own viewpoint, I think my favourite thing has been talking to the people who tend to be overlooked. I like to include creators of all audiences. I don't like to discriminate and just pick people who have a certain audience and are going to attract attention. I really think there's so many talented people in the cosplay community of all kinds, from cosplayers, videographers, photographers, all sorts. There's everything you could possibly want, and there's every thread of skill and experience in there. And it's been my aim in my time so far to feature everyone and to feature as many different types of people. You can expect to see this on a much larger scale this year. I really want to focus on picking up people who might be missed or overlooked, giving everyone a voice, talking a bit more about general opinions within the community, from the cosplayers to just the con attendees who don't dress up, and seeing what we can do to improve our community to make it even better than it is now. At this point, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who's worked with me in interview form. I know it's been time consuming and it can be really difficult to fit it in a con weekend, and I really appreciate everyone who's taken that time to allow me to interview them, to work with them, and to share your opinions with us all. Especially those who have given tips on how to help people get started and all of their various skills that I've interviewed you about. It's so well appreciated, and I really hope it's been able to help you guys with something out along the way. And finally, let's talk about 2019 and how things will be changing for me. So for now, these are just some very loose goals on what I want to achieve as the Cosplay Hero for this year. Particularly for MCMs, as we know twice a year those are my big content weekends where I try and make as much as I can. For the time being, on Fridays I will no longer be cosplaying. This is so that I can wear regular clothes to a convention, get around more, manage my camera equipment and get more filmed on this day. I stand a better chance of finding somewhere to film, so that helps too. I will also not be vlogging on Fridays, but I'll be more active on social media, so you can find me in Instagram stories, on Twitter and on Snapchat. I will mostly be focusing on my interviews, so we should see more interview related content coming from the Fridays. On Saturdays, I won't be doing press, unless it's to interview someone that I particularly want to work with who's not available otherwise. Instead, I will be cosplaying, and I'll be putting a high focus on vlogging that day, as I really feel like my vlogs have fallen a bit by the wayside in the last year. I'll also be focusing on spending time with friends and doing photo shoots, which obviously will reflect a lot in the vlogs. For Sundays, I will still be cosplaying, and I'll be splitting my time between press and shoots. I will do a few interviews on Sunday for anyone who wasn't available on the Friday, and perhaps also some work around the competition, but this is still in the concept point. I'll also be doing shoots and vlogging. This should allow me to get a better variety of content than what I have been doing this year. I would also like to do a few more community-based projects, spend some more time with creators featuring them, and see what else I can do outside of cons throughout the year. So you can expect to continue seeing the makeup videos, some other forms of tutorials, some time-lapse videos, and perhaps some chats with others about certain fandoms. Whatever happens this year, I do aim to release more content and a better variety of content at that. I just want to say thank you for everybody who's stuck with me this far, left me nice feedback, because it has been a really amazing time with a place to hang your cape so far, and I feel like 2019 is going to be even more amazing. That's it for me this year, guys. Please leave me a comment if there's any other feedback you'd like to leave me on your favourite thing that I've done so far with a place to hang your cape, or just generally your favourite place to hang your cape video. You can find a place to hang your cape on most social medias as AP2HYC. Leave us some feedback, send us some suggestions, whatever you want to leave, we're ready to hear it.